Funny about that. You know who was asking about you the other day? Who's that? Nobody.
We talking about sports, get ball.
What it do, baby? Yeah.
What it do, you number one podcast listeners? We're back with a brand new episode of the number one podcast in your headphones, Prem Brulee. I'm your host, Premal Bhatt, and I am pleased to be rejoined by one of my co-hosts, Roshan Bhatt. Rosh, welcome back, man.
Yes, sir.
It's been
Glad
a minute.
To be back. We back, bub.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It's been a minute since we had you on, so it was only right. We were overdue for a little catch up on the sports world. Of course,
sure.
Number one podcast listeners, hopefully you dug the real-time reaction after the Cowboys trade away Micah Parsons. It feels kind of full circle to be recording again now that the Cowboys and Packers just played. So, felt right to get back into the sports world. I promise to give you guys an update on that a little later. But without further ado, Rosh, you ready to get started? We got a lot to cover.
Yeah, here we go.
Here we go. Also, please enjoy a brand new Kawhi clip that's going to be in rotation.
Yes, sir.
You already know.
How I say wet ball?
Wet ball?
Wet ball. That's a basketball term that I use when I shoot the ball and I know it's going in. I say wet ball.
Wet ball, baby. That's too good,
Who
man.
the hell says that, man?
No.
Only
He's
Kawhi.
got to be the only person in,
He's the gift that
in the
keeps on
history
giving.
of basketball to say that for sure.
So I got to ask you before we get started, speaking of the clip, which I'll mix in when the time is right, just like the other infamous Kawhi clips go crazy on Prem Brulee. You already know, number one podcast
Yeah.
listeners.
What it do, baby? Yeah. I say wet ball.
But have you been following what's going on with Kawhi and the Clippers maybe circumventing the salary cap to pay Kawhi extra?
I kind of heard about it, but I really have not been plugged in, no.
Okay, so I don't want to spend too much time on it, and I definitely want to give credit to the investigative journalism that Pablo Torre finds out, has been doing, specifically Pablo Torre and his staff. There's now, I think he just, if I'm not mistaken, I haven't watched this latest part, but there's now a part 5 to it, and it all started with his reporting. The gist is that to get Kawhi to come to the Clippers, they tried to circumvent the salary cap to pay, allegedly, Kawhi Leonard extra money away from the salary cap, which is a big no-no, obviously, in a salary cap sport like the NBA.
Sure.
And it's pretty damning. Like, the evidence keeps piling up, and initially they were so steadfast, like, no, we didn't do this. Mm-hmm. And it involves a company that has now gone bankrupt. Their one of their co-owners is in prison for fraud.
Holy shit.
It was gonna be a jersey patch sponsor for the Clippers in their now open stadium, but at the time they were building it. So I don't want to give away too much. Number one podcast listeners, if you haven't been up to date on it, NBA's doing media days and stuff. They're already starting to ask questions about it. It's kind of cool to see the journalism kind of go into the NBA sphere, because nobody would have known about this had it not been for Pablo Torre and his team's journalism. So if you get a chance, the episodes are really long, but they're worth it, and it's fascinating. Pablo Torre finds out is his podcast, and it's even more fun in video form because he uncovers the documentation for other journalists that are with him. So it's kind of cool. But yeah, start from the first part. And he's even argued back and forth with Mark Cuban, who's tried to kind of have the back of fellow owner Steve Ballmer, because Steve Ballmer, if this is true, it's going to cause a lot of problems. So anyway, didn't want to get too off track, but I wanted to ask you that because it is a fascinating story, and it's going to turn into mainstream. So it already has, but it's a lot to catch up on, but it's worth it. It's very interesting because this could be it could be a tone setter, especially Adam Silver. He's
a little snowfall too. Like, what else is going on out there? Yeah,
he's largely skated by. He came in as a commissioner when the Donald Sterling stuff happened, and he made the swift move, rightfully so, to remove Donald Sterling. They talk about it a little bit, and Pablo Torre finds out. But since then, he's kind of gotten to be hands off, and this is the one that's going to be quite the deal maker breaker for him. So stay tuned. It's going to be a huge. It already is a huge story, but it's going to get even bigger.
Right out of the gate with with conspiracies on creme brulee. You can get anything on this podcast.
Now, everything's allegedly right now, but the
facts,
the mountains of documentation that literally like thousands of papers and stuff that's pretty insane, man. It's starting to get pretty damning. So it's very fascinating. Even if you're not like into that sort of stuff, you're clearly tuned in for sports. It is definitely sports related, and it's really important in the NBA world. So check it out if you haven't. I don't want to steal too much thunder. There's too much to discuss anyway. I mean, he spent like 5 hours of podcast episode content, so
that's kind of nuts.
Be doing it justice. Yeah. All right. Anyway, let's get to our content for this episode, Roche. And first up, I got a quick fam or nah before we move on to You Played Yourself, and then we're gonna talk some predictions and stuff. So that's gonna be the bulk of things.
Alrighty.
Yeah, fam or nah. Let's kick things off. I got a one and done for this one. The MLB playoff field is set. So, number one podcast listeners, in the AL, the number one seed in the AL who gets a bye is the Toronto Blue Jays. They ended up winning the AL East over the Yankees. I think it was in the last day of the regular season. So they're division champs, and they get a bye to the division round. They will face the winner of fellow division foes, Yankees and Red Sox, who will face off in the wild card round. The wild card's a best of 3. So format feels like it changes every few years. Wild card is the best of 3. The division series, the best of 5, and then the rest, the AL and NLCS, and then the World Series are best of 7 series. The number 2 seed, whatever, is the Seattle Mariners.
Petty alert! Petty alert!
Yeah, whatever. They also get a bye, and they will face the winner of, and also a division matchup in the wild card. Just so happens to be set up this way based on seeding, but the Guardians ended up winning. Improbably, they won. They won their division, and they're the 3 seed, and they'll face fellow division foe, the Detroit Tigers, who were not hot, kind of backed their way into the playoffs, and will get a chance to kind of redeem themselves in a 3-game series. So a lot of familiar opponents in the AL side. Mm-hmm. Over in the NL, the Brewers were great all year. They got the 1 seed. They will face the winner of the Cubs and Padres. The Cubs are the 4 seed. The Padres are the 5. The Phillies are the number 2 seed. They will face the winner of the 3 seed Dodgers. Yuck.
Petty alert!
And
petty alert! Petty alert!
The Cincinnati Reds, all speaking of improbable, found a way into the playoffs. They're the 6 seed, and their status was looking pretty dire heading into like the last month of the season. So kudos to them, and reverse kudos to the New York Mets for somehow blowing their playoff chance. So both Ohio teams in the field. A lot of number one podcast listeners here in my state are pumped about that. It's exciting time to be competing in October for these teams. And then the Mets somehow missed the playoffs. For number one podcast listeners who aren't A1 since day one baseball fans, the best odds to win the World Series heading into playoff starting, the Phillies have the best chance. They're plus 400 for those of you degenerates. Tied for second are the Dodgers and the Mariners. Dodgers are, like I said, they're 3 seeds, so they're playing in this wild card round. Dodgers and Mariners are plus 500. The Blue Jays are plus 750, and just behind them, the Brewers and Yankees are plus 800. If you want to take them to win it all, you can get plus 800 odds for those 2 teams. So that's the top 5 with a couple ties in there. So, Roche, fam or nah, MLB playoff set. Give me your quick thoughts here.
I'm a huge baseball fan, but nah, fam, baby. You already know why. I'm sure number one podcast listeners can figure out why I'm a non-fan to this, and we'll touch more on it later.
We can sound it.
Yeah, we'll touch more on it later. Don't get me wrong. I will still be watching the playoffs. The MLB playoffs, quite literally the only one where anything can happen. There's very few chalk, it seems like, every year. Last year's chalk World Series was super rare. So I'll be watching, but I'll be probably watching the entire thing.
I stay petty, so I don't have to
watching's
get petty.
Really true because, spoiler alert, we're going to go over kind of our picks to make the championship series. I think I'm manifesting us being back to recap those and then talk about what really happened and then make some World Series picks by then. But we'll talk about those a little later. I was going through these teams and I'm like, man, I have a reason to hate so many of these teams.
Absolutely.
Hate watching is the right word. Hate watching is a perfect summary for it. We'll leave it at that. We'll talk more about it. I want to save something. I know you guys are probably dancing on the graves of one of our teams, but just watch yourselves.
Listening.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. We've heard it.
We take notes. We don't hold ourselves accountable. We'll hold you accountable. We can sound
Absolutely.
that, baby.
100%.
Petty alert.
All right.
Petty alert.
I promised a quick one. I took a little veer talking about Kawhi because of the new clip because I was so excited about it.
That was good, yeah.
So let's hit what you all came here for. You played yourself. Let's hit that intro, baby.
Yes, sir.
I'm petty as hell.
And
I'm super petty.
here we
Petty Le Pew.
go.
All right, you wet balls.
I say,
It's time for you played yourself.
There's no
And-
way we're gonna make that happen, are we? We're gonna push that agenda. We're gonna call people.
Yeah,
wet
we
balls?
might as well.
All right.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned alert.
Stay tuned for merch. Wet balls.
Yep.
Here we go. Okay. First up on you played yourself, Rosh. I know you're A1 since day one, big golf fan.
Huge golf
we come
fan.
to you
Let's
for
play
all
golf.
Now, I got to issue you played yourself. I got to lead things off with the USA Ryder Cup. Listen, I really like Keegan Bradley. I was excited about the pick. Man, did they suck it up. Imagine if this Team USA team did not have such a historic deficit heading into the final day. They were down 7 points heading into the final day. So, Roche, the final day is just one-on-one. They do match play. But up until then, and those of you who are not big Ryder Cup fans, the Ryder Cup is a big deal. It's USA versus Europe. And historically, USA has like the historic lead, but recently Europe has been dominating the meetings. So it's usually a big deal. You want to defend your home turf, and this Ryder Cup was in the United States. It was in New York at Bethpage, and you want to perform for your home crowds and win it. You have a home field advantage. The home hosting country gets to like basically determine how they design the course, like what condition. Boy, did they screw up the first few days. The first few days are basically they play in groups of two, and they do like best ball or alternate shot. They rotate between them, and man, USA really sucked those first 2 days. They ended up being down 7, which is an astronomical amount to make up for in the last day, but they almost fucking did it. They ended up losing 15-13, and Europe just needed 14 to win. So they won a majority of the singles matches. If they would have done even average on the first 2 days, the USA would have won with that performance on Sunday. That was the largest lead, that 7-point deficit, to give you an idea, heading into the final day in modern history. So that's how bad they were getting dominated, and their captain seemed to make boneheaded pairings and not great strategy. Like, he went against analytics. At one point, he had the worst team in terms of analytics to pair up, and then he doubled down and paired him up again on the second day. So it was definitely a miss on their part. I feel bad because Keegan Bradley has had a history of like getting screwed out of competing in the Ryder Cup, and he was good enough this year as a golfer to make the team, but he was the captain and chose to not name himself as like a playing captain, and to kind of focus on being the captain and the strategist, and it didn't work out. So you feel for him. They made a great comeback. It was valiant effort, but that deficit was just hard to watch for sure. So my You Played Yourself goes to the USA Ryder Cup. These only come around every few years, so it sucks because then you have to wait for so long to try to make up for it. And then the next one's going to be in Europe, so you won't have the advantage of your fans. And the fans were really messy this year with Rory McIlroy and like addressing, like they threw things at his wife.
Yeah, I heard about all that.
Crazy things to his wife and kids. I mean, that's just a bad look to me, and it doesn't reflect golf fans. It's great to cheer for your own team, and that atmosphere is so much fun. It's like the most kind of football-y atmosphere that you can get in golf, but you don't want to turn it negative to your opposing team. You want to keep it positive. So don't love that. And overall, the performance sucked. So You Played Yourself goes to the USA Ryder Cup.
Yeah, it's probably a bunch of bunch of Yankees and Mets fans, and they're acting like a bunch of Yankees and Mets fans. So that's what I, as an outsider, as a golf expert, came to.
I know your dad's a big golf.
I got a little Yeah, my dad. I was like, I was at my parents' house this weekend, and my dad loves having an opinion about sports, but they're usually pretty interesting takes. Hashtag boomer takes. But I would love to share his opinion on the Ryder Cup, because I was there on Saturday when they were getting their ass beat, and he was kind of filling me in on everything. He was like, I'm going to go ahead and paraphrase his whole sentiment, and I'll just reduce it to one paraphrase. Essentially, the USA is a bunch of prima donna divas, so they can't play team ball. I'll bet money that they dominate on the singles matchups on Sunday and cut it close, but this lead is going to be too big to overcome. And he said this Saturday morning, and I was like, oh yeah, But as it played out, and as I found out the results, I was like, holy shit, that he called it to a T. And despite it being golf, turns out our family is a family of ball knowers, people. That does not surprise me one bit. So shout out to my dad for that prediction.
Shout out him, belated birthday.
If he hears this, he's gonna be like, "Oh shit, I made it."
Big shout out to your pops. That was a hell of a prediction, and he was right. It is worth noting, to his credit, that European players do not get. No one gets paid a ton, but the USA players do get some money. Most of them, I think, it's cool because they use it for charitable causes and whatnot. So the prima donna divas kind of does have a place here. The other note is that from the last Ryder Cup, which Europe won on their home soil, they kept 11 of their 12 players. So a lot of cohesion. Same captain too. So the USA had a lot to overcome already, but then you got your best players in the world. Literally the best player in the world, Scotty Scheffler, he finally got a point on the singles day, but he was in danger of going over, which is unheard of with how hot he's been golfing. So for him to almost get 0 points was kind of, that tells you everything you need to know anyway. But anyway, ball knower.
Yeah.
Shout out him. Okay. My next, You Played Yourself. Before I give you the floor, and you deserve it for the sick wind-up, pun intended.
You're great.
I have to address this. I'm a big
wind-up
NFL RedZone guy. You Played Yourself, NFL RedZone adding commercials officially. I mean, I know this has been talked about ad nauseum, but evidently the NFL is down bad and needed extra money for a premium product that fans already pay for. So, I mean, I know they're struggling big time, so they needed extra money through fucking RedZone, as if they're not making billions upon billions of dollars hand over fist. So, and I'm sure for those of you trying to make it like it's not a big deal, because right now it's like a couple pop-in commercials, they're still showing action, or it's a banner on RedZone. A lot of people watch RedZone, so it's nothing major. But I'm sure that's all it'll stop at, right? Nobody's ever added more commercials, right? So, I mean, what the fuck are we doing here? But you played yourself to NFL RedZone for adding commercials. We don't get to hear Scott Hansen say 7 hours of commercial-free football starts now anymore.
Yeah.
It's a shame. They tested it out at the end of last season, but it's official, and there's no going back now. They're only ever going to add more. It's never less.
Yeah, it's only going to get worse.
Here we are.
TV timeouts and all kinds of shit are on the way.
Yep. So, 18.
Yeah, I actually will not be expressing my opinion here because I've heard that some people allegedly stream games illegally because some people don't want to give another cent.
Shame.
Yeah, they don't know. These people don't want to give these people. I don't know who they are, but they don't want to give another cent to these moron leagues and billionaires who want to sign exclusive deals with Amazon or Peacock or the Home Shopping Network or wherever the fuck you want to stream these games. So to be honest, it doesn't really affect those people. This is just what I've heard allegedly. So I will not be expressing any opinions about this.
Got you. Allegedly, we cannot confirm or deny that.
Yeah.
So, Rush, the proverbial podcast floor is yours. What you played yourself, you got for me. I have a feeling I know where it's going.
Yeah.
But, take it away.
All right. Before we get into the next you played yourself, I would like to preface this segment with a question to the audience. Maybe it's a series of questions, or maybe it's a line of questioning. But what do you all do in October? I mean, I've been told it's a nice month. The weather's getting nicer. I think the leaves are supposed to change colors. Some concerts are coming to town. Some people say, the coffee tastes better, or, it's soup weather or sweater weather. What do you do? Do you go to the pumpkin patch?
What do you do?
Do I have to go get lost in a corn maze somewhere? Do I need to go to a haunted house? Do I celebrate Halloween? Am I supposed to have a bonfire? Let me know, October enthusiasts, because as it turns out, I personally haven't had a free October since 2016 because America's team, the Houston Astros, are officially eliminated from the postseason for the first time since 2016. It's been a tough week.
Sure.
It's been a tough week. Sound that shit. This is the first October since 2016. So, and I think back to this podcast and this wonderful podcast and all these number one podcast listeners, and I've been really reflecting on what I've said after the trade deadline, and I remember I was really proud, and I was so excited Correa came back, and if I had the chance to think about what I said after the trade deadline, I'd really do it differently. I'd probably go harder than I did because I don't think I went hard enough. It's not my it's really not my fault that 30 players hit the injury list. Apparently that's not good news for a team. I was unaware. It turns out that
this just in
30 players on the IL that have an alleged estimated loss of a 17 WAR does not make for a good baseball team. So, and apparently only missing the playoffs by one game still, despite 30 games.
Crazy.
I'll hang my hat on that, but I would like to officially give a you played yourself to the Houston Astros ligaments, tendons, bones, muscles, nerve endings, whatever you want in the human anatomy. That's where I will not salt my team. That's for private conversations, but I will salt their medical ailments. All right. Ideally, I would like to make this a 45-minute rant about firing the GM and manager, medical staff, Gatorade manager, whatever else. So I'll try to keep it as tight as possible, and we'll leave it there because it's been a tough September for your boy. It's been a tough September for the fans. It's been a tough September for the homies, and we're coping. But 30 players on the injury list, missing it by one game, I'll take it. I'll take it.
It was always going to be a tough sell. It compounded when your supposed ace goes 1-9 down the stretch to end the season. Yeah, that was a tough look. And then Mike Trout, who's usually fully shut down for the season, a minor injury or whatever. And
once the Eagles start playing.
Yeah, once the Eagles kick off their season, he's usually in Philly watching them. And somehow he inexplicably is fucking playing and goes yard to seal a comeback win for the Angels and probably put the nice bow on the shit finish to the season. Yeah. But of course it was Mike Trout, who's usually fucking
had to be Mike Trout
by now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had to be his dumbass.
Hey, respect. He finally got a playoff moment, so congrats.
Yeah. Yeah, 6-2 and the sixth one's always an injury, yet he's here somehow.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, you know what? You played yourself, but not to us, because we're going to be back, and we're going to be just as obnoxious. We're going to be double as obnoxious, because we took note of the whole dancing on the grave, so we're going to remember that shit.
We have all October to come up with shit. I have all October to make notes of every single team's chokes along the way. Yep. So, and don't worry.
Just remember about
Petty alert.
At least 10 of the 12 teams are going to be disappointed just like we are. So
for sure,
you're going to be joining us in that disappointment here soon. Maybe a team that loses in the World Series can get little silver linings, but that's about it. So you'll be joining us.
But until further notice, baseball is dead too, by the way. So
baseball's dead.
We're not exclusive to football. Baseball's also dead. So don't ever play yourself.
Congratulations. It's dead temporarily. We'll resurrect it later.
Yeah.
All right. Rush, you got any non-sports you played yourselves for the people?
Yeah, I mean, I do. So, I mean, maybe it's a weird topic, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it. But, so at my job, we're often like involved with event marketing for like associations who put on these like large 3 to 4 day conferences, and there's 300-400 people, and a lot of these require me to be on site. That's just like a little bit of context for this. You played yourself, and I guess the overarching you played yourself is bringing up controversial conversations in environments you probably should be shelving this conversation for.
Tough luck.
As some of you may know, everything is a hot seat right now, and I'm going to try to keep this as politically neutral as possible. But it really bothers me that myself, a person of color, is often, quote unquote, targeted for these types of conversations. I'm not I'm not sure if it's like that obvious. It probably is. And that's fine. But if I'm on site for work, please don't try to rage bait me into a conversation that's going to reflect poorly on me. As many people who have heard this podcast know, I'm very opinionated. And this is about sports.
This just in. Also, this just in.
Yeah, this just in. I have opinions. And while my sports opinions are very strong and obnoxious, my personal opinions are even worse. So, that being said, you can ask me off site if you want the real answer. But while I'm at work, while I'm wearing a fucking collared button-up shirt, please don't ask me this shit.
Yeah.
I'm going to Homer Simpson my ass out of that conversation. Just disappear into the bush. I'm gone. And I did it like 3 times. People would ask me certain questions about a specific event that happened in the news, and I would be like, oh. And I would quite literally just disappear. I'd be like, just let it fizzle out, change the subject, and I'm gone. I'm like, bro, you're not catching me slipping. I'm sorry. I won't be that guy. But that's my official you played yourself. And that's fresh on the mind. I just got off a conference.
That. Yeah. I mean, why would that? It could only go poorly. There's no.
This is not water cooler talk. This is not water cooler talk. No way. We're not doing this shit, bro.
Talk to me about fantasy football.
read my fucking Twitter if you want those opinions. Yeah. We're not doing this shit, man.
Yeah. Fuck out of here. Speaking of work content, I'm going to do a non-sports you played yourself. I got a lot of work content. I want to save one of them because it could be controversial. I feel like it could be a better one for Am I Hatin?
All right.
But this one, I think everybody will agree with. You played yourself to bring in like loud, potent snacks into meetings, or like even if it's a virtual meeting, it's a tough look, man.
Pistachios?
Dude, I cannot believe some people. I truly can't. Like, I think during COVID, a lot of people worked from home and they forgot what it was like.
For sure.
They could turn off their camera or mute their microphone, but in real life you can't do that. So you chomp it on like some intensely flavored almonds or like you're chomping on carrots and got this crazy dip with it. Like relax. There's break rooms for that, and you really can't wait for like until this meeting's over. This has to be the half hour that you participate in. This is wild to me.
Yeah.
But shout out work content, and we did say non-sports. You played yourself, so here we are.
Yeah.
And that's our nice natural segue into Am I Hatin? You know, Am I Hatin's been very popular lately, Rosh. I know you've been keeping up with it. So I'm not going to keep rehashing water bottle talk, but I do have plenty of takes on that still. I still got some in the chamber if people start acting up about water bottles. It is fun, though, that people keep sending me things about water bottles, and there's a lot more content that's finding its way into my algorithm. Like
you definitely touched a nerve.
I wonder how we survived our childhood by not carrying around water bottles everywhere we go. But, you know, here we are. But you already know, number one podcast listeners, Am I Hatin? If you have submissions for us, be sure to send them in to us, be featured alongside us. We want to hear your takes. But, Rosh, I got one here, and, you know, I was just thinking about it because I feel like this runs in the family, and I'm like, find myself feeling like I need house shoes or whatever. But am I hating people who don't have flat feet? Do y'all know how good you have it? Like, oh, look at me. The middle of my foot never touches the ground. I don't need insole support. I probably don't have knee or back pain. Get a life, bro. Where y'all at? Snorkel fin gang? Where y'all at? Sore foot gang? Where y'all at? Yeah.
Plantar fasciitis gang?
Yeah, y'all got those flippers for your feet? Tap in. I know you're with me. Let's make sure that we're properly hating on these people with arches. Whatever. Fuck them. You know, we got like rough spots on our feet. We probably need overdue for a pedicure always. Probably need house shoes. But am I hating to the people who have nice arches? Do they know how good? Do you all know how good y'all have it? Or you just taking that shit for granted? Let me know.
I know a few.
Yeah, Rosh, where you at? You flat foot gang?
It's not a flat foot. I allegedly have an arch, but it's not very big. So
okay,
I'm closer to a flat foot than an arch, but I technically have an arch. So the people with flat feet and the things they experience are the things that I experience. Gotcha. I don't necessarily get the benefits of having a real arch.
It's a fake making arch. Contact with the ground, though.
Facts.
Got you. Yeah. So you're one of us.
Yeah.
Y'all arch people, whatever.
I can play both sides. Whoever's hating on the other side, I can stand with them. It's cool.
Oh, I respect that.
Yeah. I'm always going to win that one.
Am I hating? Probably, but whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. Sound it.
Petty alert.
All right, Rush, you got one for Am I Hatin?
Yeah. Listen, we're not strangers, as we just talked about on the water bottle segment. This one might ruffle a few feathers. And,
oh, hell yeah.
You know, and I'm here on this number one podcast. I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. Cue this Stephen A. Smith. Just cue it.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
Am I hating on oversharing on social media? Stop.
Boy.
Fam, all you guys are not influencers. I swear to God. Stop posting every meal. Stop posting every activity you do. We do not need to GRWM. And for those for those who aren't criminally online like me, that's get ready with me while I blank and blank. No, I don't want to get ready with you anywhere. I'm not doing that shit. I assure you no one cares. We're just going to tap through this story. And look, listen, I'm not going to say my social media presence is perfect. As you know, I post a bunch of sunsets or concert videos that no one watches besides you. when you're flabbergasted at all the flying bodies. But at least
crazy.
At least I can say I'm self-aware. Okay. I also don't post 15 concert clips.
Yeah.
If your kid has a soccer game or a gymnastics competition, that's great. That's beautiful. I don't need to see all 3 periods of that soccer game.
You don't need to go live?
I don't need you to go live on that. I don't need to see 12 rounds of your gymnastics competition. I don't need to see the whole swim meet. Yeah. I assure you, no one cares. I actually want to challenge you to care more about your child and actually watch the fucking competition.
Yeah.
Instead of posting that shit nonstop, and we just don't care about your meals unless it looks beautiful. I mean, yeah, one here and there, fine. You don't need to share everything you eat. You don't need to share everything you drink.
Every time.
Yeah, I mean, you got to eat first sometime. So stop oversharing. I think we share too much. I think we know too much about everybody, and I'd like to know less about you all. So let's I'd like to challenge you guys to share less with me. I don't care.
I love that.
Yeah. That's a rough one. I know some people are going to hear this and be like, oh, is he talking about me? The answer is yes. I am talking about you, actually.
Probably he's not talking about you if you didn't know what GRWM meant.
Yeah.
You're probably safe.
Yeah, I don't think anybody that I know has personally posted a get ready with me. No. But I've seen this trend. And the second it infiltrates my own personal feed, I'm going to say something to that person. I'm like, who do you think you are?
It's a tough look. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
Oh, can't wait for the people to get a hold of that one.
Yeah. Sorry, y'all.
Sorry.
I got a handful of people that are going to be
not
pissed.
Sorry.
Yeah. I got a handful of people who are going to be like, oh, man, he's talking about me.
Damn, were you talking about me?
I sure was.
Nope.
No, I
comment.
was. Yeah. I'm going to stand on that one.
All right. Number one podcast listeners, it is time for Who You Got and What You Feeling. And last episode, obviously, was a one-off. I was ranting real time. But the episode before that, Vish and I did a little like kind of fantasy football preview where we talked some division-by-division games. We're going to kind of connect that to today, Rosh. Now that we're 4 weeks through the NFL season, I wanted to get your take on where you see these divisions playing out.
Okay.
You had the good idea to do like a quarter season prediction, see how things have changed from the preseason. So we'll just go rapid fire. We don't need to talk too much about it since obviously things are going to change. But I'll go division by division. Get your pick to win it. AFC North, who you got?
I think this one's pretty obvious. I'm going to go with the Ravens on this one.
See, I'm cautiously going Ravens. That's who I picked, but injury to Lamar has me worried. He's going to be less mobile. They are 1-3. Mm-hmm. Steelers look good, so that might change when we do this half-season preview.
That's true.
AFC East is probably safe to say we're both going Bills.
Yeah. Those teams pretty much suck.
All right. Special division to you, AFC South.
Yeah.
Who you got?
As we always say, football's dead.
What it do, baby?
And while I too hate my team, just like you do, Premal, I don't hate my team as much. I will blindly believe and inhale the full dose of copium and say that the Texans are going to come back and win, mainly because I'm an idiot. But I have a hard time just saying someone else is going to win. So let me just have a bad take instead, even though it's not a bad take.
I respect that.
Yeah.
I picked the Texans in the little preseason preview.
Sure.
The Texans do not look good.
It's not looking hot. No, it looks like
you and
shit.
I on the episode before that roasted the Colts. They have I believe you said they have one of the quarterback battles of all time was your phrasing. And they made us all
Aging
look bad.
poorly.
Daniel Jones looks good, and that division seems like theirs to lose already, which is weird to say.
Yes, crazy.
Because other teams don't particularly look that great.
Yeah.
Now I'm rooting for the Texans, for you guys, for our guy CJ Stroud, but we'll see. I think I'm right now switching to the Colts. Okay, AFC West. I'm going to go Chiefs. I said this before. I think I'm sticking with the Chiefs. The Chargers look good, minus their debacle losing to the Giants somehow. but we always fall for this trap, and I won't do it. So I'm going with the Chiefs. Who you got?
I will fall for the trap because I hate them. So I'll go with the Chargers. This is all just to say the Chiefs will probably win, but I hate them, and I'm going to pick against them. I'm going to do it one more
Look,
time.
I stay petty, so I don't have to get petty.
All right, let's over to the NFC.
Yeah.
Let's start with the NFC North. I picked the Lions. I'm sticking with my Lions pick.
I think this is probably one of the best divisions in football, but I'm going to roll with the Packers. I think they're going to turn it on in a more nice fashion and take this division.
Okay. Packers, of course, coming off of a inexplicable loss to Cleveland.
Yeah.
And then a tie with the Cowboys, which are two bad looks after they probably look like the best team in the first couple weeks. So,
yeah.
I'm interested to see how that goes off. NFC East, pretty obviously the Eagles, right? Is that your goal?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Eagles. Shout out to the Cowboys, though. A team that nobody I know likes. Shout out to them for not getting smacked up by the Packers for once last night. What a game that was.
Shout out to them. Couldn't be me, but
some fans have said that. Many fans are saying
have
this.
said that.
Yeah.
Could not be we. Might be them, but okay. NFC South. Looks like I think we're both going Bucks.
Yeah, I think Bucks they look good. Yeah. That's a good team.
It felt like the Falcons were the only realistic chance at challenging them. Okay, this is the one where it seems kind of wide open, but the NFC West, I'm going with the Rams. Who you got?
I kind of like the Seahawks. I'm not going to lie. They look pretty good. I don't know, something about them. They seem exciting, and I think Rams are a lot more injury prone with the people they have on their roster. So I think that's kind of in the back of my mind with that one. So.
Yeah, Sam Darnold and Jackson Smith and Jigba. Shout out, go Bucks.
Go Bucks.
He's doing really well. So that'll be an interesting division to see how it goes down the stretch. But
for sure.
Okay. Then we promised this earlier. We talked about the seeding in the playoffs. But I wanted to do our picks to the championship series. So essentially our final four in the MLB playoffs who we're going with. A quick recap. I already went through the format: wild cards, best of 3; divisions series, best of 5; and then championship series and World Series are best of 7. Blue Jays are the 1 seed. They play the winner of the Yankees Red Sox. Mariners are the 2 seed. They play the winner of the Guardians Tigers. Who you got in the AL making it to the ALCS?
I like the Red Sox and the Mariners. Those are my 2 choices for the AL.
All right. We're going to cover a fair amount of teams here. I thought this was wide open.
It is wide open, yeah.
But I went with the Blue Jays and the Guardians.
Love it.
Always tend to side with like teams that are hot heading into
hot
the
hand,
playoffs.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I was going with it. And mostly it's like a hate. Like these are the ones that I feel like I hate the least. So.
For sure.
Yeah, there we go.
I think like a quick run through of that wild card round. I'm like, me personally, I think Detroit and Cleveland is going to be a really good matchup. I think both wild card series are so awesome because they are division games. And Detroit has their pitching lined up the way they want it. But they won't against the Mariners. Like whoever is playing that series is going to have a tough time with the Mariners, who are just chilling right now, and they have an insane rotation, allegedly. Me picking the Mariners to be in the ALCS, is this a reverse jinx? You'll never know. But I like Boston because of Bregman. I got to ride with the Astros alumni, and Springer's in Toronto, so I love that as well. Yeah.
I think we can all agree we hope that the Yankees lose. So and the
Fuck
Mariners
the Yankees.
lose. So
fuck the Yankees. Fuck the Mariners.
Yeah.
Okay. Over to the NL, just a quick to go over it. The Brewers are the 1 seed. They're going to play the winner of the Cubs and Padres. And the Phillies, who Vegas has as the favorite, as I said earlier, play the winner of the Dodgers and the Reds, the surprising team of the playoffs, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going chalk in the NL. I'm going Brewers versus Phillies, NLCS, the top 2 seeds.
Yeah.
They've just been the best all year.
Yeah.
I know the Dodgers are good. This, again, is a hate prediction for me.
Yeah.
Now, I hate the Phillies, too, so I don't want to see them, but they've just been so good all year. It's hard for me to pick against those two teams in the NL.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it's going to be the same too. Brewers, Phillies. It doesn't seem like Cincinnati can beat the Dodgers. The power of friendship's not always like as powerful in the playoffs, but Phillies are like just a deep team, and they seem to be less injured than the Dodgers. They're going to miss Zach Wheeler in that series, but I just think like Brewers are like a model of consistency this year, and they've been good throughout the entire year, which is pretty rare for a baseball team. They haven't seemed to have a lot of skids. They had 2 like very long winning streaks. Like that's a good team. But I would like to add a new category since I can't be annoying about the Astros this year. The category is who will I be hate watching? So I have a hate watch power rankings. All right, a top 3.
Oh, love this.
Yeah. So my hate watch power rankings from these are the top 3 in reverse order. Number 3, the Dodgers. They already won last year. It kind of takes the fun out of hating a team that you know has a very high chance of doing it again, but I still hate them. Yankees, number 2. Never going to stop hating them. New number 1 this year. Shout out to the Mariners. I will be strongly hate watching every game of your series. So and there's also got to be like some kind of like a fake love or a it's not the worst if they win power rankings too. So like who do you not mind winning? I don't think anyone wants to see the Phillies win. Red Sox, Blue Jays seem like good picks for that. Padres maybe. Padres never won any rings. Brewers never have any. Yeah, like those are some
Padres
cool
is
teams.
a fun one. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
I agree with those rankings. Now, I think I find myself hating the Yankees more than the Mariners. I know that it's not in the division, but
you're probably a little geographically closer to Yankees
geographically
fans.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
And I also think I personally know more Yankees fans. And
Fair.
Not one of them is like in the least bit realistic or like
I know a few for sure.
Less than obnoxious. So and I think they largely, like, Yankees fans skate by referencing the number of rings, and nobody else escapes that like they do versus, like, because I think they're just louder, but then people roast, like, these schmucks couldn't be me, but that are fans of, like, the Cowboys for living in the past, too. So that, to me, I think makes me...
Yeah,
anyway.
and the Yankees in the 27 rings, like, we should look up the years of those rings, like...
Yeah, exactly. Last one's 2009, man. So never forget.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was fun.
Yeah.
We'll have to keep track of those predictions and circle back to this, Rosh, for both sets. That takes us to what you feeling. What are you feeling lately, man?
Man, I actually got to go to Houston this past weekend, and I saw the Texans pitch a shutout on Sunday, which is probably not a very common thing in the NFL. And, you know, I was, like, thinking about it, and it's been a solid 5 years since my brother and I went to a game last. And it's been, like, even longer than, like, a football game specifically. Not, like, we've seen a lot of Astros, but, like, specifically, and number one podcast listeners, we used to be season ticket holders, but, you know, COVID year happened, we got rid of them, and also the Texans were fucking horrible for 3 years. So it was a good time to sell those season tickets, but it had been forever since we went to NRG, and it was cool to, like, spend time with him and all that. And, you know, my dad and my brother also had birthdays recently, so that was kind of like the whole
Shout out them.
Trip for the weekend. Yeah, I got to spend some time with the nephews. Got a bunch of shows coming up. October is always great for that because ACL's in Austin, so there's a lot of bands that come through. I'm about to see Turnstile in a couple of weeks. So it's time to get my moshing knees ready. I'm not ready to hang up the cleat. I'm not ready to hang up the cleats yet.
Oh man, make me secondhand nervous when you send me those videos.
Yeah, when I catch an injury or some kind of like headbutt or something, I'll consider hanging it up. But I'm not fucking leaving. I'm not fucking leaving yet.
I'm not fucking leaving.
I'm not fucking leaving.
I'm not leaving. For me, what I'm feeling, you know, you referenced it earlier. I promised number one podcast listeners an update. So I'm a football fan atheist now. I renounced my previous Cowboys fanhood, and people have been asking me like, "What's the update?" And I would say, you can ask my wife to confirm this, but I've been pretty relaxed on Sundays. It's been pretty enjoyable for me. I'm not falling for any of these traps. I've been watching. I'm not acting like I don't watch games. I watch all games. I don't go out of my way for Cowboys games. They're naturally like showing on TV, so it's not as if I'm avoiding them. I can't find myself like, I root against NFC East teams. There's 30 years of fanhood behind this, so there's no way I'm going to root for like the Eagles or Giants, and just so happens they played them the first few weeks. So it wasn't like a true indicator, but I wasn't any like too hot or too cold. I found myself laughing at some of their struggles. It was kind of like a, it is what it is type feeling. Yeah. And I think overall it's been enjoyable just watching with no dog in the fight, and I think I've done a pretty good job of like holding true to my word. I haven't found myself getting too hot or cold over it, so it's been going great. I've been relaxed on my Sundays, so shout out me finally making that choice.
Hell yeah. Stay tuned alert on the Sober from the Cowboys updates in the near future. We're going to keep checking in on you, buddy.
Keep checking in. We'll see. I'll be honest with my take on it if I find myself like kind of slipping back into it, but I already ranted about it, so I won't go over the reasoning behind it.
Yesterday was your first big test, actually.
And
they were in a game they probably shouldn't have been in, and that you wouldn't have predicted them to be in.
Honestly, it was a good game. I think I found myself just enjoying watching the game.
Objectively, a great game of football.
Same thing. Like I don't think I can bring myself to root for the Packers. It's still hard for me to be like, I find myself not rooting necessarily for the Cowboys, but I'm not rooting for the other team either. So it's like I'm just kind of accepting what happens, but I can't find myself liking the Packers or whatever. So
nice.
We shouted out your bro and my uncle, your dad. Their birthdays are recent. Shout out my pops. His birthday's coming up real soon too. So shout out him. And who I also call dad. My father-in-law's birthday's coming up. So big October birthday's coming up.
Nice.
My dog, actual dog, Teddy, turned 7. I can't believe he's 7. He's still not acting like it. But
shout out Ted Dog.
He's right next to me as I record this, so he can hear me kind of, but he's asleep. Shout out Ted Dog, my dude. And then crazy to think, but not only I said before my son started preschool, but he also is playing soccer. My man's can't be bothered to put in full effort, but I kind of respect his steadfast, like, you can't make me do anything that I don't want to do. Sometimes if he's supposed to be running and dribbling, he is walking. So shout out to him. But he's trying, and that's all I could ask for. He's practicing the whole time. If I'm being real, going back to water bottles, we're taking too many water breaks for 1 hour little kid practice to me. But that's just me. I know it's controversial, but a little too many breaks. We had to nix snack breaks too. We stopped bringing snacks to it so that we didn't get too distracted. But anyway, that's what I'm feeling.
Nice. You gonna live stream the whole games?
Yes. Coming soon. It's definitely gonna tag Roshan in it. So be sure when you post your life updates that you tag our guy here.
Yes. Yes. Overshare away.
Yeah. Honestly, we would respect that action because that'd be a petty alert. So
I think that would actually personally be hilarious.
Petty alert. Exactly. Petty alert. Petty alert.
Number one podcast listeners, you know how we like to wrap up each episode of the number one podcast in your headphones, Prem Brulee. I want to finish with Too Much Sense, so let's hit that Too Much Sense intro. Okay, my Too Much Sense for this episode is to never admire quietly. If I admire something about someone, I tell them. And I want to give credit. This was a post that I saw, so it wasn't my words, but we humans are so fragile. It's important we give people their flowers while they're still here. Never admire quietly. Me personally, I am so proud of my people. If you haven't heard it lately, I'm proud of you. Number one podcast listeners out there, if you haven't heard it lately, I'm proud of you. Even just trying, failing, anything in between, I'm proud of you. I love seeing y'all win. I say it all the time. You should love seeing your people win because if you really love them, that's a win for you. We love seeing our people win. So never admire quietly. I tell people all the time when I'm thinking of them. I've talked about that before, but what I love and respect about them. Don't wait till that special occasion or whatever. I just tell them every once in a while when you're chatting. I do that a lot as a father now. I tell the people a lot. I also use birthdays as an opportunity to tell people how I feel. I usually try to write a little heartfelt something to people close to me because I want them to know how I feel. I don't ever want it to be questioned how I feel about you and what I admire about you. So that's my too much sense for this episode.
Love it, man. Yeah, you're really good at that for sure.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a vulgar thought, but it is a little bit beautiful. It's like I don't want them to. I want them to hear about it. Like I think too often those thoughts come like after we lose someone, or
for sure.
So I think that's backwards. People should hear how you feel about them. So
yeah.
It's not a vulgar, like, don't do it before it's too late. No, it's not like that. Just give people your flowers, and I think that brings good energy all around. So
we definitely need a little more kindness these days.
Yes, for sure.
We're severely lacking in that department, people to people. So, listen to that shit.
I also think too often we assume, like, oh, they know how I feel about them. Well, they might know it, but it's still nice to hear it. How nice is it to hear a compliment every once in a while?
Facts.
Some of us might not be able to accept them, but it is nice to hear. We can't lie about that. So
for sure.
Anyway, number one podcast listeners, thank you for tuning in to another edition of Prem Brulee, the number one podcast in your headphones. You wet balls out there, I appreciate you as always.
Yes, sir.
You know the drill. Subscribe. Like these episodes, post them. Hopefully you're enjoying the social media content. Repost our reels when we throw them on social media. We greatly appreciate the interactions and the support as always. Rosh, I want to thank you. It was nice getting back to it with you, bro.
Yes, sir. Always fun.
You number one podcast listeners, we will talk to you next time. Peace.
Peace.
I say, wet ball.